Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
So what do you do when everything you bought for a new baby is washed away? That's at 6 o'clock.
A state-of-the-art program right here in Macomb County. Why doctors say it's promising and why county officials say the key to tracking COVID-19 could be down there.
The man who held one of the most powerful positions in Macomb County indicted by the feds, accusing of using his office to line his pockets with hundreds of thousands of extorted dollars. The allegations are classic pay to play, and tonight as we come to you at 6, the feds say Anthony Morocco never thought he'd be caught.
Morocco was Macomb County's Public Works Commissioner from 1993 to 2016 when he lost that seat to Candace Miller. The feds say during much of that time, he would steer contracts only to those who would buy tickets to his twice-yearly fundraisers.
The indictment says he did so with the help of his employee, Dino Bucci, who also has a plea hearing that's set for tomorrow. Victor Williams live with a reaction and more on where that money allegedly went, Victor.
Yeah, that's right, guys. After a multi-year investigation, there are several charges that have been racked up against Morocco that have to do with conspiracy. We're talking about extortion, attempted extortion, and so much more.
At one point, it seemed like former Macomb County Public Works Commissioner Anthony Morocco could do no wrong, holding his position for decades from the 90s all the way to 2016. But now the tables have turned. The feds have now officially indicted the former commissioner, saying he conspired with county employee Dino Bucci. The indictment reads, Bucci, at the direction of Anthony Morocco, would communicate to the victims that if they did not purchase tickets to Morocco's fundraiser, including the holiday party and the golf outings, the victims would suffer adverse economic consequences caused by Morocco. Those victims listed as real estate developers, employees of engineering funds, and municipal contractors.
They felt threatened. They were being pressured. He was even competing with some of them with business, I guess, if you will, ventures.
Current Macomb County executive and former Sheriff Mark Hackle says the indictment doesn't surprise him at all.
Being the sheriff, I recognize there were concerns by some of the contractors, developers, about the pressures being put on by our former Public Works Commissioner, Anthony Morocco. And being the county executive, when I took that over, boy, I was inundated with concerns and complaints about what was going on in his office.
The accusations also state that Morocco used some of the monies raised from the victims to pay for personal expenses, such as air travel to Florida and Massachusetts, automobile rentals, expensive meals at restaurants in Palm Beach and Delray Beach, Florida, hotel stays, condo association charges, spa visits, wedding and holiday gifts, and even yacht club charges. The indictment then goes on to say that during the course of the conspiracy, Anthony Morocco stated to Dino Bucci on multiple occasions, they'll convict me of murder before they convict me of corruption.
A public official should never use their office for personal gain, and that's exactly what he did, and now he's being held accountable for those actions.
Now, if Morocco is convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison, as well as a $250,000 fine. Reporting live tonight, Victor Williams, Local 4.
All right, Victor.
Well, now to an update to a story we brought you yesterday at 6. Disturbing video of a Washtenaw County Sheriff's deputy punching a black woman has led to a protest. Shatina Grady L. and her husband Daniel were arrested Monday night after allegedly refusing to leave the scene of a shooting. This afternoon, dozens of people protested outside the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office. Daniel Grady L. is out of jail tonight, but Shatina Grady L. remains in jail. The officers involved in the incident have been placed on administrative leave. An internal investigation is ongoing.
Some big reopening plans as we get caught up on today's coronavirus headlines.
The state of Michigan is reporting 504 new positive cases of COVID-19, along with 68 additional deaths. Michigan State University announcing today it plans to resume in-person classes this fall with a mix of online and classroom learning. After Thanksgiving break, all instruction will shift to remote learning, but students will have the option of remaining on campus.
Walt Disney World in Florida targeting June 11th for its reopening pending final approval. We'll see.
Macomb County is announcing it's partnering with Oakland University and Michigan State University to track the spread of the coronavirus by testing sewage.
May seem a little unconventional, but as our Grant Herms learned, health experts say it can track and even predict where an outbreak might happen.
It may seem a little gross, but doctors say tracking sewage is a good way to track the virus. Macomb County officials say they're willing to do anything to make sure their people stay healthy. So here's how it works. The county will have automated testing equipment and sewage pump stations, which will be able to sample, test, and report back to health officials, who can track and possibly predict future COVID outbreaks, as the County Health Commissioner Candace Miller explained in a video online.
If you do have COVID, you could be shedding this virus, and when you do so, it goes down your toilet, okay? It's like taking a blood test.
Health experts across the country are already touting the benefits of this same kind of tracking. The city of Detroit and Michigan State have been tracking viruses this way since 2017. And yesterday, Yale's College of Medicine released a study suggesting viral shedding could be happening as long as 2 weeks before someone is symptomatic. The program won't officially start until next month, but there are still some things that need to be put in place. Macomb County officials say once it's up and running, the findings will be posted for everyone to see through an online dashboard, where anyone will be able to track where the virus is and what they can do to stop the spread.
How we're going to beat this thing is through our own personal responsibility and our own personal behavior. And the way that we can do that and help is by giving more information to the individuals.
Well, this pump station in Clinton Township is just the pilot program. Officials say if this works, they'll expand it to the rest of the county, hoping to ward off that second wave of the virus. In Clinton Township, Grant Herms, Local 4.
Okay, Grant. Well, can a stack of Swiss cheese help protect you from the coronavirus? Public health experts say yes, but you need to visualize it, not eat it. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here to explain the Swiss cheese approach to reducing risk. What is this all about?
Yeah, Kim. So I've heard some people say, well, there's no point in wearing a mask because some particles can still get through, or social distancing alone, that's enough to keep them safe, as though there was some invisible force field around them. The Swiss cheese analogy helps explain why it's those arguments that are really full of holes.
There's no perfect prevention right now. But multiple imperfect things can still make meaningful reductions in the risk.
Ryan Malash is a research scientist at the U of M School of Public Health. He says our ability to prevent the spread of COVID-19 depends on layering those imperfect protections on top of each other. That's where the Swiss cheese comes in.
Each intervention that we have, that we currently have for COVID-19 prevention is kind of like a slice of Swiss cheese. There are holes in it. And so the virus can get through in certain ways.
But
the holes are not necessarily aligned in the same places on each slice. And so if we stack those things up, then we have suddenly a block of cheese that the virus can't get through.
Layering imperfect protection is something we already do. Speed limits control how fast we drive. Intersections are engineered for safety. Seatbelts help restrain us in a crash. Airbags help minimize injuries to our head and upper body. None of these protections are perfect, but together they help reduce the risk of driving.
Wearing a mask, or washing your hands more, or disinfecting surfaces that are being touched more, staying 6 to 10 feet away from each other, those things are all good things to think about, but none of them are going to be perfect on their own. And so if we can sort of stack those things on top of each other, we can hopefully make a meaningful reduction in our risk.
Now, Malash credits the Swiss cheese analogy to Dr. Arnold Monto, a world-renowned expert in influenza at the U of M School of Public Health. Now, I think it is a very useful way to think about ways to reduce our risk. The more layers of cheese you have, the fewer holes. Back to you.
Love the analogy. Is this an approach that business owners can use too as they look to reopen their businesses and do their procedures?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. It's about layers. You think about the potential holes in any of the safety measures that you're taking, and then think, okay, well, what other step could I take that would cover that hole, and so on and so on. And pretty soon you have an overlapping protection system.
Sure. Yeah, I can see it. Okay. Thanks, Doc.
It has been 1 week now since people in parts of Midland County woke up to devastating flooding after the Edenvale Dam failure. Folks in Midland and the small village of Sanford doing their best to try to repair and rebuild as the state and FEMA complete their damage assessments to determine how much financial help will be coming. Governor Whitmer has instructed the Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, or EGLE, to open an investigation into what went wrong with the dams.
And those responsible need to be held accountable. As residents begin the painstaking work of picking up the pieces of their lives from this disaster, they deserve to know why these dams failed, why they've been uprooted, and uprooting businesses and lives as well.
We have seen how each family impacted by the flooding in Midland County has really their own very unique story to tell.
Yeah, Sean Lay met up with a young couple who is now just hours from welcoming a new baby to their family, but are now also dealing with major damage to their home.
Let me show you this. It's the Sanford home of Richie and Sam O'Keefe. When floodwaters hit it a week ago, it knocked the home into the Sanford post office. In fact, if you look here, that's the front door. The house got turned around. That's the side door now facing the road. And get this, tomorrow, the couple's having a baby.
We're calling it the 2020 flood baby.
Sam and Richie O'Keefe are expecting baby daughter Sydney to arrive tomorrow when Sam is induced. This is what's left of their home. A failing dam broke, and everything they prepared for to welcome baby Sydney was washed away.
Yeah, we were so ready because we thought any day we would be going into labor. And when we left the house, we didn't think about any of that stuff or grabbing those things. We just never expected the water to even get that high.
The couple shared their story on Facebook, and now a new flood, a flood of people are flocking to the couple to help. One person driving 3 hours to drop off baby items.
It's overwhelming. You feel bad because
you can't thank them enough. You don't know these people.
And you tell them, no, you don't
to
have to drive 3 hours, and they're like, no, you know, the baby needs this.
And that help is needed. Richie was working right next door here at the Family Dollar. It also was destroyed.
We've got tons and tons of donations, and that can kind of bring you back to the feeling down because it just reminds you of all you've lost. But at the same time, you know, you've got this newborn baby with all of this new stuff to welcome into, so we try and focus on that instead of the bad.
New beginning.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of the 2020 flood baby, it can be the new everything baby.
With their lives washed away, the thing that's keeping this young family going is the safe arrival tomorrow for baby Sydney. In Sanford, Sean Lay, Local 4.
All right, Sean. Well, another pretty humid day, and the radar showing some wet weather drifting our way here, Ben.
Yeah, and we've got one more day of this above average heat and humidity, and then things start to change dramatically as we get into the upcoming weekend. We'll look at all that coming up next.
During this pandemic, you know who's seeing the benefits? Our dogs.
Dog owners are sharing their stories about how their dogs are helping them through quarantine.
Now it's actually therapeutic for me.
I'm Karen Drew with Bailey. We'll have that story coming up.